The one thing that I'm going to miss when Biden is going to be tossed on the side, it's going to be the amount of gaffes and the hardcore laughs that I just couldn't stop involuntarily spewing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, even Trump was fucking hilarious. There's been a lot of memes, a lot of just insane shit. I think, honestly, what's been going on in the United States in terms of their politics, we've always known it to be fucking entertaining, but this is like whole new peak level of entertainment. It's like, is it still 40 chess? I think we could probably safe to say that they're going up to like 4.5 40 chess. Whatever. I don't know what dimension they're in right now, but it's pretty metal. It's pretty brutal, actually. But I don't want to talk about American politics right now. I want to bring that shit up here to Quebec. And as you guys have probably have seen, um, this channel is about 2 months old, and I haven't talked about Quebec too much. I've been going off on different topics, but more in the veins of occultism and the geopolitical BS that we're finally seeing. Hell, even out of my neck of the woods, we're starting to see interesting things. And I ended up putting a post on on my channel. I know where the setting is. I am aware. I know the context as to why they did it. The area is full of fucking Greeks. One of the gentlemen that I seen that's on the picture. I follow him on the Loser Book, so I'm aware of what's going on in my local area, and a lot of people are talking. The fact that people are awake is just fucking awesome. But bringing shit to Quebec here, you're not seeing me talk about too many things concerning Quebec specifically, and that's what life was like when I started Maiden Liberty, the OG channel. And I I don't know if it's just because the week has just been chaotic, just going down so many fucking rabbit holes, and I'm in the process of reading the military occult complex and just seeing what has happened from the dawn of time and civilization and shamans and animism to what has been evolved to today. um I like to see some of these things being applied in our modern day, and it's important for us to be aware of these things concerning where we are in our provinces and also in Canada. But I have been talking more about Canada, not so much Quebec. And I think the reason why a lot of people wanted to listen to the OG channel is because there's not, as far as I'm aware, there weren't too many people like myself who are bilingual anglophones who live here, who are loud, bombastic, abrupt, direct, honest, passionate, um, and finding their voice in a province that demonizes the other. And I'm going to bring up a few points, but I think one of the things that is important is maybe it's just the recent events. I just am not um, entertained like I used to be with the language laws, because I see what's going on in these loser book groups, what people talk about, and people are just so fucking dense. Even the anglophones are so stupid. Like, a lot of them, you could tell they're brainwashed, and they assume because I have a different perspective, I'm a conspiracy theorist, when it's like, no. I posted something that Sticks ended up writing on Twitter, and I thought it was pretty funny, so I posted it in there just to kind of gauge their reaction and troll them. And one of them was like spewing nonsense, and it's like, okay, you know what? Why am I bothering having to waste my fucking time with these idiots? You start to find yourself like you catch yourself doing something that you don't want to do, and a lot of these people are not even worth it. But in terms of Quebec, um, talking about the language, the cycle is just going to repeat itself. This French thing, this French culture thing is its own egregore that has been given so much energy. It's been like that from the times that these lands were settled by the different tribes, the settled tribes, as I would call them. People want to call them colonizers. People would probably even say that I'm an immigrant when the joke's on them. I was literally born on these fucking lands in 1991. I'm not sure how that's even possible, but okay. Yeah, but your family were from Italy. They were originally immigrants. They were immigrants. Therefore, they were now citizens, okay? They couldn't really do shit when they needed jobs and making money. And now that they contributed to your dumbass society, they could turn around and say, fuck you, you're not going to treat me like shit anymore. And if I had to do a little bit of necromancy and ask them, hey, how would you handle the shit today? I would probably agree with them if they would turn around and said, I'll just mock them and spit in their face and move on with my life. And that's how I feel with, current day, current year, current day language debacles. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. The one thing that people will turn around and say that demographics equal destiny, which I'm not going to dispute as saying that I disagree with it. It does, but that's not on the minds of the average person. People start to become their de facto inner libertarian starts to come out when they realize, hey, my money's getting fucked, my quality of life is going down, why is this shit still fucking happening? And I don't hear anybody saying welcome to the new normal. I don't hear anybody saying that anymore. New normal, new normal, new normal, new normal. Fuck that shit. But it's the same old bullshit. I mean, what can I say that hasn't been already been said for the last 10 years? And people are just going to go about their business, and you guys want to die on that fucking hill. I'm not interested in that as much as I used to be, because it's just the same rhetoric, the same old bullshit, bringing up the equalization payments, talking about the Laurentian elite and all corrupt robes lead back to Quebec, and people forget that it is a freedom of speech issue, but only freedom to speak French. We should be abolishing the OQLF. I'm going through, possibly just for this week, language fatigue, because we've heard it all. We've seen it all. Quebec has embarrassed itself, and you're starting to see it on social media. Boomer book, loser book, twatter, the instas. It's fucking fantastic when you see people are memeing it up. It's fucking fantastic. Like, you could have like a freaking problem, like all the roads are very crappy and they have to redo this whole thing. Yeah, but at least it's still French type of thing. Like, same thing with California. California. I mean, we have a shit ton of fucking problems in these blue cities, but at least the weather's still nice. Like, you're justifying it for other bullshit reasons. And, I just wanted to just make this video and say a few thoughts that I might have already stated in the past, but I think it's still relevant to just bring up and really just highlight how much that, this French language doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't. It's the same idea as when you keep calling somebody a racist when they're not. You're just you're stretching it out so thin that it's gonna fucking disappear. And my concern and putting some nuance in this whole perspective and this conversation, because people, it's so weird. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at this shit really fucking legally. Okay, you will hear people turn around and say, you've heard it even when Maxime Bernier put his name in the election ring, wanted to be prime minister. That's a situation I could go on to that topic, how I knew he was kind of full of shit, but I don't have enough time in this video. You're gonna split the vote, you're gonna split the vote. Well, bitch, there's always naturally gonna be some vote splitting. Look at the Libertarian Party. Okay, it's like it's fractured in a few segments, but the main ones that I'm aware of are like the Mises types versus the ANCAP. Like, it's going to split regardless, or you'll vote for somebody else. Like, it's just natural. So why are we having that debate? Why are we having to have the debate of, well, we're going to be vote splitting here if we have too many options and too many choices. Well, you guys keep, again, Coke or Pepsi. Which one has less calories, but it's just a little bit different? And who's more of a language Nazi? That's the other thing. Language Nazis. I keep seeing these articles. Again, don't always trust what you read online, but the faux outrage, the bullshit outrage. It's current year, guys. There's no reason to be having the OQLF, the minister responsible for the French language, and Bill 101, Bill 96, and the charter of the French language, or the French language, whatever the fuck it's called. Okay, all of these things are useless. You've made it a goddamn motherfucking point for decades on end, okay, that you're French. We get it. It's been promoted, but demoting and restricting the English is not going to help out your cause. Yeah, but we want our grandkids and our great-grandchildren to still be in a society where it's still French. Well, here's a funny thing about that. You keep promoting it, but it's not in a very good light. And your grandkids, if they're smart, they're not going to stay in the box called Kbec. There's more to life than just that. You might actually want to give yourself follow a little bit of that advice. How many of these language Nazis go out during well, they're like snowbirds or whatever. Y'all are going down to fucking Florida, which is pretty ironic. That's not a French state. What are you doing? So yeah, abolish the OQLF because they're fucking useless. All these people would be out of a freaking job, and then they have to really interact with the world. God forbid we start to reduce the amount of these so-called elected officials out of office. Like, God forbid, right? 43% of the government had grew under Cuban Fabio under 10 fucking years. Gee, I wonder, that sounds fantastic, by the way. Gee, I wonder if that's going to be the same case, or what is the number that has increased under Lego. Nobody's talked about that. Okay, and my final thing that I want to say, and this is kind of what inspired me to make this video, had to do with a comment that I saw that has to do with the whole hospital language bullshit, and somebody wrote this in the comment section, that the Anglophones are getting a taste of what the Francophones go through in the rest of Canada and how it was once upon a time in Quebec. Sweetheart, we've been over this, okay? I will never owe French people anything. I owe the natives fucking nothing. Guess what? I'm a native myself. No, of European descendants, but yet I don't have a fucking tax-free card because of it. And I thought we don't like racists, but yet that's a racist thing unto itself. Let's ignore that little fact. And I will also owe nothing to the Anglophones. Just because something had happened in the past doesn't mean that Anglophones should be paying for the past sins of other people in the future. You people are retarded. No, you people are retarded, and I don't give a fuck. I should not be treated because of arbitrary nonsense. This is why I like freedom. I speak English and I speak French, but I speak the real language of freedom, liberty. That's what I breathe, and that is my essence. So if people haven't learned that by now, well, you're too little too late. But in terms of the channel itself, variety is the spice of life, and fuck Quebec, and it's just so tiring at this point. Fuck the language, fuck the language Nazis, just fuck everybody at this point. Peace out.